Hey everybody, Mountain Grandma here. Today is my entry video for the Survival Seeds 2026 collaboration being hosted by Vineyard Chicks Homestead. And I'm sharing our plum tree here after we had pruned it some. We could have done a lot more, but we will do that in the fall. And spring is coming. See the little bee on our first dandelion on this same plum tree that just a few weeks ago had no flowers. And now it is absolutely loaded with all kinds of blossoms. They're just beautiful. It's a little bit disconcerting though, because we have some bad weather coming and I had to turn off the volume because the wind is just so bad. What that means is we could potentially lose all of these blossoms and end up with no plums this year. So we will see what happens with that. But while I am doing this entry video, I'm going to go ahead and share with you some of the things that I've got planned for our garden beds. So let's go ahead and head over there. Now there are different areas around the homestead where I have the opportunity to plant. There's a bed along this shed I'm going to get cleaned out. I need a small tiller to do that. And then over here in the woods, I've been trying to create like a permaculture area, and this is all just weeds on that side. Over on this other side here, that's where I have my huge lemon balm patch, and I even have a peach tree that planted itself over here. And on this side, I'd like to also, I did succeed at getting some yarrow to grow over here last year, but I want to have like a whole bedded area of it. So I'm thinking about trying to get the tiller out in this area and grow some yarrow alongside of the lemon balm. And if I can, I'd like to extend this even more with just some random seeds. Maybe I'll just throw stuff out there and see what takes. But a lot of work to be done and a lot of potential for some wild herbs growing out here. And I think I might focus on things that the deer won't eat. All right, let's head to the garden beds by the house. All right, I'm going to show you a little bit of a before and after. So this is the before. We've got tons of leaves everywhere. You can see I've got lots of different pots and things to grow in, and I'm going to make better use of those this year. But all of these leaves, we have an asparagus patch back here. We have our garlic patch, even up here in the front bed. I have some things that were left over. This is my little radish bed, at least so far that's what it's been. And I've got this here that I grow herbs in. You can see everything kind of messy. So, and that's some sage growing in this little herb bed. The other things that I planted here didn't really take. I've got this little square bed over here. I've already cleaned it out. It had a lot of calendula and there's some horseradish that of course overwintered. Love growing that because it's hard to find in the store. So I got the asparagus bed cleaned out the garlic bed. And you can see the work we did over here. And what you aren't seeing is more work that's been done. We're adding some compost from the goat's pens, the goat manure, and also leaf mulch is going to be added to these beds. Thank you to my hubby for doing that for me. Looks like I had some onions that overwintered, and I'm going to add to those guys and get more onion bulbs planted this year here. And actually at the timing of this video, I've already done that. I got onion bulbs growing all around that thing. And then we have another bed that I'll show you that is also a work in progress, and you can see the before. I'll share with you what the after looks like. A lot of cleanup had to be done over here. And here is, well, not quite the after, but the first step. My husband got in here, cleared out all those leaves, and pulled up a bunch of stuff. The next thing that he did, and you won't see it this time, but maybe next time, is he got the tiller in there and we've added compost and stuff. I'm trying some winter sowing, more on that later. And then I've sowed some seeds directly so far, and you're seeing I soaked some of them ahead of time. That includes some beets, some scarlet Nantes carrots. I purchased some onion bulbs and got those in the garden also. And I also have asparagus that I'm going to be planting out there. I did need to start some tomatoes and peppers, and I went ahead and did that. And I'm going to be using the snail method. So I'm growing a couple different kinds of cherry tomatoes, showing those to you here. Big tomatoes, I'm growing the Romas, the San Marzanos, and then I have also the Brandywine, black Brandywine tomatoes I'm going to grow. Those seeds are from Jennifer Ocean Homestead. And then I'm also going to be growing some of the purple Cherokee tomatoes that you see there. So excited about those, and a lot of bell peppers. And let me show you those seed snails. And here are my seed snails. Look at how many seeds are sitting on top of that dirt. I just wanted to show that. I was able to get 15 seeds in each one of these seed snails. So you're looking at 45 starter plants right there. There's a link down in the description box below to a video over at Yogi Hollow Farm where she goes through a tutorial of how to do this. Just a tip for you, I use the bubble wrap envelopes from Amazon mail that I'd received, cut off the sides, they fold right out, and they're like the perfect height and length and everything. It's really nice. But I did that for bell peppers and for tomatoes. So I'm excited to see these grow. I did tape all 3 of them together just for extra stability. Don't know if that's necessary or not since this is my first time, but we shall see. I hope you all give this a try. Check that link out down below and follow along with the survival seeds. There's lots of great growing tips that you'll learn from everybody. And we're all just trying to, grow our food over here. So thank you all for watching. And until next time, I hope you all have a blessed day. And remember, everyone, keep your joy, folks.